Oh dear. It's another cold one. I feel like I'm waking up in Siberia or something. That does look pretty cool though, doesn't it? Can't deny that. Good morning and welcome your faces in for another video of myself, Darren, a HGV Class 1 driver here in the UK. And it is cold this morning. As you've seen already on the start of the video, it is currently -6 and 4 o'clock in the morning. As you may have seen as well on a previous video, last night's shift finished at 6:30 in the evening. So for today, coming in at 4 o'clock in the morning is a reduced 9.5 hour rest. And yes, it can happen. You can do it, 9 hours, believe it or not. Just bear in mind, if you are a new driver, you can't reduce your rest to 9 hours every single day. Normally it's an 11-hour period. Anything less than 11 hours, even if it's 10 hours and 59 minutes, you still class as a 9-hour reduced rest period, which you can do 3 times a week. It is so cold right now. My fingers just feel like ice. They're so cold at the moment. But before we leave, we've got to do one thing. By topping up the screen wash, make sure you have plenty of screen wash, especially this time of year. Your window is constantly needing to get washed. It's that cold, the pole is actually frozen solid. Now the trailer's been loaded, we can actually start our little adventure for today. Throw the gloves on the heater just to get a little bit more dry and warmed up. With traffic, it's looking around 3.5 hours drive to get there, and in total 152 miles. The location for today is down at Milton Keynes. Nice and easy one to get to. I've been here a couple of times, so I know what to expect when I get to the yard. And it is pretty much just off the M1 motorway. Got some really bad fog again this morning. It's overtaking this crane. It's got to go on the lane, give him a little bit more extra space because it looks like it's hanging over a little bit. Big JCB. Quick stop over at Hilton Park Services. The time is currently 20 to 7 and it's lucky it did, really, because the traffic now it's just come to an absolute standstill. I'm thinking to myself, it's more of an accident, this one, not congestion, unfortunately. Still got 81 miles left to go. And the ETA is currently saying 8:30. So about an hour and 45 minutes or so before we get to Milton Keynes. Could be more 2 hours though, looking in front. Overall, traffic's not really been too bad this morning. A little bit of a build-up just by Hilton Park Services and on the way into Birmingham, but as soon as I got past the M5 junction, it wasn't actually too bad. I'm just enjoying the view at the moment. It's nice. It's one good thing about these cold mornings, isn't it? You always get a nicer sunrise coming up. And if you're starting so early in the morning as well, oh, you don't miss it, do you? Still on the M6, got about maybe 12-13 miles before I come off for the M1 southbound. And then I'll follow the M1 down to Milton Keynes. And I've got another delivery after this one. And I think it's in Northampton region. So I'll be coming back up the M1 to deliver the second delivery. Let's move over, getting in lane. left-hand lane now goes towards the Coventry Junction, and you always get people sitting in the second lane, jumping over last minute as well. That's why trucks start to brake. So I am going to move over into the middle lane. Just so I can prepare for anybody who decides to stop or slow down in lane 1, or lane 2 shall I say. Already seen a couple of cars move over last minute. You got another one there as well. I'm having a guess that one of these 2 cars, they're going to move over in a second. Yeah, both of them. That should be okay now. Move back over. It's one of them, isn't it? You drive down the road enough times, you can start predicting some of the movements that people do before they even do it themselves. It's a little bit like a sixth sense, like a trucker sense. You see a car driving down the motorway, you're like, yeah, you're going to try and jump over now last minute. There's nobody else to do. Not too far away now. 18 miles still to go. It's currently 8:05. Temperature still -4 degrees at the moment, so it's very frosty outside, even though it does look like a really nice day, doesn't it? Nice and clear skies. I do believe it's meant to be getting quite warm next week though, which is a little bit odd. I think it's going up to like 8 or 10 degrees. So it's a bit of a jump from -4 at the moment. Do hope everybody had a great weekend. Not really got anything planned for myself this weekend. Just go nice and relax, chill out with the family. Got to do recording of the podcast with one of my friends, Eric. And then other than that, really, it's nice and relaxing. That sun's really bright this morning. So I've got 10 miles to go. Due to get there in the next 15 minutes or so. It's just an absolutely lovely little view out the office window this morning. Really enjoying the drive down. And the roads are really quiet. Even going past Birmingham on a Friday, like 7 o'clock, it was pretty quiet. Took me by surprise, to be honest. I've still got an hour and 20 minutes left of my driving time, and I need to make sure I take a break. Started at 4 o'clock this morning, I need to make a break by 10 o'clock. But I think, looking at it, my driving time might actually run out before the working time directive. I can't believe I've been in work already for 4 hours this morning. And it's like when people say to me, it's like, wow, doing 15 hours must be quite long or hard or anything like that, but it goes so quick. It's quite worrying how fast 15 hours can go in a day. When you're doing driving, it doesn't feel like 15 hours that you've been doing for the day, it just feels like a 7 or 8 hour shift. It's a bit crazy. This is where you need the sunglasses. The sun is on a high beam, isn't it? bright, directly right in front of the vision as well, where you're looking down the road. You can't really see too far ahead. This weekend, definitely get some sunglasses. It's on my list, on my to-do list. Time is just here 9:30. First job all done over at Milton Keynes, and already 9:30. I'm absolutely filthy. I don't know if you can see all these little marks, bits all over the top. That is from the curtains, because you get all the grit and all the crap on the road when you're doing the curtains. You just get absolutely filthy straight away. Next delivery is over in Corby, and that is a total of 50 miles away and about an hour and a half drive with traffic included. Unfortunately, I've got to take a break, so I've only got 30 minutes driving time, so let's take a 45-minute break and then set off. I think a little 7.5 ton has jumped in front of the Arctic that's waiting. Looks like he got here just in time as well. A little bit of a queue outside. By the way, folks, if there's a little bit of a jump or bounce when I go over any potholes or anything on the dash cameras, I do apologise in advance for that, by the way. In the editing, I did notice a few times it was like bobbling up and down. So what I've done is, on the way up here, pulled over at a service station, got some super glue, and managed to fix the problem. So hopefully it shouldn't really be bouncing around anymore like a little Churchill nodding dog. And this looks like a good place to have a 45. Plug in the kettle, and this thing is a godsend. I could get the laptop charged up and have a brew at the same time. Nothing too fancy for today's dinner, just a teriyaki little wok style noodle cup thing. Pretty nice, these, really good. Brakes all taken care of, and it is currently 10:30. So what I need to do now is bear in mind, because I've had the break early and I've finished the break early, within the next 6 hours I need to make sure I have at least a 15-minute break to cover the working time directive. So that gives me until 4:30 before I need to take another break, which isn't really too bad, because on the way back I might just pull into the services, maybe at Donington Park area, have a quick 15-minute break, and then continue the journey home. To get over to Corby, where our next delivery is going down pretty much straight across 15 roundabouts around Milton Keynes, so that I can get onto the M1 northbound, come off for Northampton. I think it's the A45 off the top of my head. Follow the A45, and last time I got on that road, I was stuck on it for 3.5 hours because there was an accident, a really big accident, and the whole place was just massively gridlocked. So that was quite a while back now. It was probably about 8 weeks ago, or maybe more actually. It might have been longer than 8 weeks. But still, we got stuck on there for about 3.5 hours, and we need to get to Corby. So we're just following the A45 through, I think it could be Wellington, the place off the top of my head, and then to Kettering, and then just through Kettering to Corby. And then to get back, we're going to be jumping on the A45, and then, like I say, I'm in two minds whether to go to the M1, which I normally do, especially being a Friday. It's probably worth going up the M1, cutting across, staying away from the Birmingham area, because I've got a feeling that's going to be quite heavy. But I'll weigh it up when I get to the destination before we leave. I'm currently trying a different route than what the sat-nav's actually trying to take me. So the sat-nav wants me to go up the A45 pretty much as far as it can, go into like some little village, I think it's called Wellington, could be completely wrong. But when I was driving up the A45, I seen this sign for the A43 north, and it takes you to Kettering, and now I've just seen on the same sign for Corby. Never came this way before, so I don't really know if this is going to be better, is it going to be worse. But looking at the road situation so far, it does seem to be a little bit of a better drive. I'd rather stay on a nice big A road like so, instead of trying to dodge through traffic lights and going through little built up areas instead. So hopefully I could be onto a winner. So the reason why the sat-nav's not brought me this way is because my sat-nav's not been updated for about 5 years. And currently, according to the sat-nav, I'm driving through a field right now. So another thing I need to do over the weekend is trying to get the sat-nav updated if possible. To be honest, I'm probably after a new sat-nav anyway. I do like to stick with TomTom sat-navs though, where possible.
Turn left, A43, Thornville.
Just because I'm used to TomToms, I've always used TomToms, so the layout of them, I'm used to it, so I've always just stuck with it. Whereas when I've tried a Garmin sat-nav in the past, I didn't really like the setup as much. So it's down to personal preference. It's like phones really, isn't it, sat-navs? You're either Android or Apple. Again, sat-navs, you're either TomTom or a third-party make. They're all just as good. They all do the same thing. So this whole area at the moment is not on the sat-nav. Still. So I'm sat-nav screening them. Like, where are you going, Darren? You're going the wrong way. Turn around where possible. Turn around on the next exit. Keep following it. A43. And it just shows sometimes the trucker instinct is better than a sat-nav. Because I didn't know this road was a thing. And I will be using it in the future. According to the sat-nav at the moment, it is now picked up this road and I've got 20 miles left to go. Should be there in about 25 minutes, give or take. I'm just going to continue on the A43. I would like to say a big thank you for everybody as well that subscribes to the channel and watches and tunes in all the time watching them, so I really do appreciate it. So thank you very much for all the support over the time. I really do appreciate it. And believe it or not, I've just hit 1 million views on the channel, and I think that's a bloody amazing 1 million views. That's, yeah, I never expected to get 10,000 views, never mind to get to 1 million. So here we go this year, hopefully by the end of 2025, let's hit 10,000 subscribers and see where the future takes us. Who knows, I may have my own truck one day, driving around, working for myself, get my own business up and going, or stay at SSO, because they're a great company to work for. Who knows? If you want to find out, you got to stay tuned and hit that subscribe. I can confirm the A43 is a much better road to travel down instead of following the sat-nav off the A45. I'm glad I took that risk anyway. A little bit of a gamble. I've never been on the A43, I didn't know what it was going to be like. Was it going to be a nice smooth road, or was it going to be... I don't really know what to expect, to be honest with you. Well, I'm just coming up to now 600 yards away is the roundabout for the A14. So we'll go jump on the A14 for a junction or two and then come off for Corby. Just pulling up at a destination, and now I didn't recognise the name of the business. However, driving down that main road just now, I was like, right, yep, I bet it's the one that's on the left hand side. You drive down this little road now and then it's on the right, just up ahead. What would you know? It is. I've been this one before. Happens all the time that we're driving, because you visit that many different places, but not often. So I've only ever been here once, and it was probably 4 months ago when I did come. So that's why I didn't really recognise the name of it. But now I've got here, I'm like, yep, I know exactly where I am, what to do, and how to get a nice quick unload. So it was pretty quick last time, to be fair. To get back to the yard from where I am now is 144 miles away and just over 3 hours drive. However though, I've got a slight problem. It's 3 hours and 15 minutes left on the driving time. So that means I won't be back to Warrington, bearing in mind depending on traffic, until around 4:30, give or take, because I need to take 45 minutes before I get back to Warrington. Realistically, with traffic included, I don't think I'm going to have the time. Just spoke to the office as well and explained them the situation that I need to take a break before I get back to Warrington because of the driving time and how long it's going to take me to get there from now. And I'm going to give them a call when I get into the area, see if there's anything local around 4 o'clock time that needs collecting. Let's get ourselves back to the yard. Now, to get back to the yard, the way I'm going to be going, I am going to go at the M1, because Donington Park services have been a bit improved as well with the parking situation. So it's not really too bad there now. There's plenty of space. I'll show you when I get there as well what I mean by the improvements with the parking, just in case you're not visited there for a while. And hopefully it's going to be a little bit more secure as well, because I've seen them putting fencing up the other day. The way I'm going to be taking the route then back is going to be jumping past Corby, past Kettering on the A43, jumping onto the A14, continuing down the A14 for about 20-30 miles, jumping onto the M1 North, going straight up. Let's get past this car. And then from the M1, we're going to be jumping onto the A50, shooting across westbound until we come to Stoke, A500 through Stoke, M6 North, and then away we go. And that was all off the top of my head, by the way, that, folks, throwing off all them bloody numbers and whatnot for the roads. It kind of batters your head a little bit when you go so many different places and you try to remember all these different roads you can do. So you don't really need a sat-nav on most of the times, to be fair. Especially from local, anyway, I never really use a sat-nav. But some of the far out ones, I still use a sat-nav mainly because of keeping the ETA. And if I've never been there before, that always helps, doesn't it? Looks like there's a bit of a bad smash there on the A14 heading back. I would say it would probably be ice, but the roads look really, really clear. So maybe it could have been some black ice, maybe. But temperature's still saying -1 at the moment. So the temperatures are really low for ice. Wait for this car to either come on, then I'll move over. But it's created a big backlog, hasn't it? Okay, let me in, yep. Doesn't look like anybody was hurt, which is good. But I'm glad I'm on this side going home and not on that side going to the delivery point. I was a little bit off with the distance between the A14 and the M6. According to the sat-nav, you're looking around 30 miles, not 20. 129 miles left to get back as well. Just under 3 hours. And I've got 2 hours and 50 minutes driving time left, so I'm definitely going to need a break before before getting back. This really has gone back so far. I think I've done about 2 miles. Everybody's just stood still, looking really fed up in the cars, which I don't really blame them, because it's a Friday after all. You want to be back home, don't you? And it's just not moving whatsoever. Just gonna leave the camera running for a little bit, just in case you see yourself or somebody you know driving a truck stuck in the A14. Wow, it's not what you need on a Friday. It's really not. I'm going up to the end of the queue now. And what junction has everybody just drove past? Let's have a look. This junction up here coming up. It's a shame there's no signs, isn't there, before the junction saying like road ahead closed or anything, so you can start diverting people off. The A508 junction 2. That's how far it's packed up to. Not done too bad for timing so far. Still got 86 miles left to go. And time is 10 to 2. I know the new parking bays are all on the right hand side, because that used to be a big mound of dirt and then they've dug it all up, so it's a little bit better for the parking. Ah, perfect. And they've got these fences up as well on the left hand side, which is good. And this is one that I like to try and get in if I can.
Turn left, then left.
And just like that, that is break taken care of 45 minutes later. And of course, you can't have a break without visiting the Greggs, especially for a salted caramel latte. And look at that sky behind me as well. It looks to be a really, really nice weekend. So fingers crossed the sun comes out and the weather's fantastic for everybody. Let's be honest with you, we're fed up with this cold now, aren't we? Driving down the A50 at the moment. Time is currently 5 to 3. And I was looking at the sat nav, and then I looked at the tacho, back at the sat nav, back at the tacho, and then I realised I made a bit of a mistake. So I thought I've only used one 10-hour driving period for this week. It turns out, according to the tacho, I've used 2. So I must have gone over like 9 hours and 1 minute or 9 hours and 2 minutes, because I don't think I've done like the full 9.5 or 10 hours. So I must have gone over it by like a minute or 2, not realising. So I didn't jot it down. Now I normally do like book all my hours of what I've worked and what I normally drive. If I drove like a 10-hour day or extended any periods, I always write it down and make sure I clock everything. And I must have forgot one of the days, as I said, gone over by a minute or 2. And now I'm looking at the tacho, it's saying I've got 2 hours and 4 minutes left on driving time. According to the sat nav, it's 77 miles and it's 1 hour and 58 minutes. So I've generally got 6 minutes spare between going over my hours for driving or making it back. Cutting it a little bit fine, that really, isn't it? A little bit too fine. Ooh, so just rang up the office then, said sorry I can't make the collection on the way back due to obviously needing to get back. It was Adam that answered, really helpful. He was like, yeah, don't worry about it mate, we'll get it sorted, you just get yourself back. If you need anything, give us a call. So cheers Adam, thanks for that mate.
now it kind of puts you on edge a little bit, because you're driving down and you're thinking, please, please, please don't be any traffic. Looking at the tacho, yeah, still saying 2 hours and 3 minutes. Looking at sat nav, yeah, still saying 1 hour and 55 minutes. Luckily though, my sat nav is set to 52 miles per hour and I can do 56, so I might be able to shave a couple of minutes off. And the traffic's been alright so far today, so fingers crossed we're not going to have any issues getting back. Not exactly what I needed right now. The roundabout I need is 1 mile away, and this is backed up right down there. I think there's been an accident on the M6 northbound between the two Stoke junctions. So as you can imagine, Stoke right now is going to be an absolute nightmare to try and get through. I'm going to stick on the A500, follow it northbound. Hopefully the traffic starts to die down a little bit shortly, because I need it to. I really need it to. And worst case scenario, I'll be getting an infringement. If you're running low on your hours, whatever you do, for an example, if I'm driving down the M6 and it's 10 or 15 minutes away to the depot, then carry on. Go over your working hours or your driving hours, pull over at your depot, do a manual printout for that day that you're going over your hours. Right on the back of it, do a manual entry saying the accident on M6 between junction this and this, and put on it nearest safe spot for parking up. So that's my nearest safe point, is like 10-15 minutes down the motorway, because I'm not going past any service station or any lay-bys or anything, because I'm on the M6. This is my situation for tonight as an example. Whatever you do, do not pull over somewhere on a junction or on a hard shoulder of the motorway or anything like that and take your card out and then carry on driving, because that's the worst thing you can do. Trust me, if you get pulled over by DVSA and they see you've gone over your hours by 15-20 minutes and you write on the back of your manual entry that you keep with you for 28 days, they will understand the situation. They know what accidents do happen on motorways from time to time, and you will go over your hours from time to time, unfortunately, and it's out of your control. They understand that and they won't do anything about it. They'll be right, okay, no problems. You kept the manual print out with you for 28 days, jobs are good. And however, if you take out your card and they download your tacho, which they will do if they pull you over, and then they see that you've been driving without your card, because it does it all with like missing mileage, etc., they will know it's been driven without a card, and then you could lose your license, get a big fine and everything else on top. So at the end of the day, go over your hours, do the manual print out, do not take your card out. Can't stress that enough. So for tonight, I think I might be going over my hours. So as I said, print out, manual entry, and then keep it with me for 28 days. However, that only works if that is your nearest safe point to pull up. If I'm, say, an hour away, like down here at the moment, and I've only got 15 minutes left on my card, driving time, I will have to pull over on the nearest service station, spend the night there, minimum of 9 hours or 11 hours, depends what your rest periods are, and then carry on my journey tomorrow to get home. That is the real situation. If I carried on driving for like an hour and 20 over my hours, then you probably will get a fine off DVSA if they ever pull you over. So there is limitations with the manual entry thing. So just bear that in mind. After all the hours are there for your tacho, to look after your safety, really, isn't it? So you're not too tired driving, and then other road users as well. If you've got any questions about HGV driving, tacho, I'll try my best to answer them. Just let me know down below in comments. If you've got any questions about the vlogs or anything you want answering, let me know as well. I'll try my best to answer as much as I can. And hopefully what I explained then about manual entries made sense and it helps. Holy crap. I've gone all day with no traffic whatsoever. Everything's been fantastic. And the whole of the A500 is crawling.
800 yards.
At least it's moving, that's a good sign. My word. I don't think I've ever really seen the A500 this bad. Oh, darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. I'm trying to think now off the top of my head which way is going to be the best way to go. Maybe trying to head northwards towards to Kids Grove. Maybe not really too sure off the top of my head which way is going to be the best way. Satnav's still saying it's 1 hour from where I am now, and that's including some of the traffic. I've kind of got two sat-navs on the go at the moment. I've got the TomTom sat-nav and I've got the CarPlay sat-nav, which is on the little dashboard of where your radio is. Someone's let me in, thank you very much. And that's got the live traffic updates. So that's saying 58 minutes, but that's going by car. So I'm probably going to say an hour and 15 maybe in a truck. I've got 1 hour and 18 minutes left. Driving time. As long as it carries on moving, should hopefully be alright. Finally coming up towards the M6. The time is now 10 past 4. It's taken me like an hour just to get down the A500 area. It's absolutely chaos. It's just been literally the whole 500 has been about 10 miles per hour average speed. As you can see, the motorway's pretty clear now, so that's good. So hopefully I can just put my foot down and get back to the yard pretty quick, because technically all the traffic should be behind us. And I can't see any other cars on the motorway behind me, so I don't know if they've actually closed the motorway northbound. If that's the case, I've got pretty damn lucky I didn't go left like I normally do. Oh wow. According to SatNav, it is 55 minutes back to the yard. I have currently got 48 minutes. So it looks like I'm going over by 6 minutes, and technically the next safe place when I run out of time is going to be my depot. So I'll most likely go get an infringement. Unless the roads stay like this, then I might be able to claw it back and get back within like a minute or two. Fingers crossed I can do that. But we'll play by ear and see what happens. No point stressing about it, because what will be will be. We've done it, guys, we've done it. 7 minutes left on the tacho. 7 minutes of driving time left, and we made it back. Yes. Plan of action now for myself is to drop the trailer, disconnect the unit, park up the unit in the car park, and then that is me done for the weekend. Fantastic. And the time has just hit 5 o'clock, so hopefully I should be home, tucked up on the settee, having my dinner for about maybe 5:30, 5:45.
not bad for a Friday. And on that note, I am going to call it a day on a video. So thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit that like, comment and subscribe if you are new. And again, thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. Here's to a great 2025, and hopefully it gets a little bit warmer next week, because it's still sub-zero temperatures and it's freezing. It really is. So have a great week. Have a great day. Bye for now.